Happy Sunday fun day, crypto fam. This is pod episode number 1302. Let's get it. In today's show, Bitcoin price chart flashes a bullish sign as we return back above $27,200. And check this out, Hal Finney on Bitcoin at $11 exactly 12 years ago today, ahead of his time. Quoting him here, every day that goes by and Bitcoin hasn't collapsed increases the chance of eventual success and justifies a higher price. Amen. And Max Kaiser reminds us that 99% of his transactions in El Salvador were using the king crypto, Bitcoin. We'll also be discussing U.S. Congressman moves to stop CBDC dead in its tracks and introduces a bill to block the Federal Reserve, as well as U.S. banking system will lose massive chunks of wealth from American businesses seeking yield, according to Arthur Hayes. We'll also be discussing dollar-based stablecoins to strengthen the Greenback, says the Binance CEO CZ, and says he thinks DeSantis is great. We'll also be discussing breaking news, Brazilian crypto exchange Mercado Bitcoin licensed as a payment provider, according to this latest report. We'll also be discussing the top reasons why Bitcoin price will hit $1 million per coin, as per the Strike CEO, Jack Mallers. And quoting him here, there are only two things I can guarantee in this world. Number one, nobody can live forever. And number two, nobody can create more than 21 million Bitcoin. For everything else, there will always be more supply given enough demand. That is why the only two things I truly value are my life and my Bitcoin. Touche. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, everyone. This is pod episode number 1302. I'm your host, JV. How's your weekend thus far? Today is June 4th, Sunday, 2023. Let's kick off today's show with our market watch. We can see Bitcoin and many of the major cryptos back in the green. Bitcoin trading just above 27,200 at the time of this live stream. We also have Ether up 0.5%, trading back above $1,900. XRP in the green, up 3.4%. And along with Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, and Avalanche, and BNB and Litecoin are correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we got the crypto market cap sitting just above $1.14 trillion with 20 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at 45.9% with the Ether dominance at 19.9%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours. Holy moly, Terra Classic. It's like the resurrection of Lazarus. It's up 33% for the day, followed by Solana up 5%, trading at $22, followed by Immutable up 5%, trading just above 83 cents. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, we also have Luna Classic up 33%. Massive gains overall for the altcoin market, as the bullish breakout is tend to be good for the rest of the crypto market. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 52 in neutral. Yesterday was a 53, last week a 50, and last month a 61 in greed. So there you have it. How many of you are currently bullish on the King Crypto and taking advantage of these dips? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out some of the charts. The U.S. equities markets welcome the debt ceiling, and the May non-farm payrolls data on June 2nd was strong rallies. The S&P rose 1.8% during the week, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ was up 2%. This was the sixth consecutive week of gains for the NASDAQ and the first such occasion since January of 2020. And in addition to the above, the expectation of the Federal Reserve remaining in a pause mode during the next meeting may have acted as a catalyst for this rally. CME's FedWatch tool is showing a 75% probability of a pause, with the remaining 25% expecting a 25 basis point hike in the June 14th meeting, which is now just 10 days away. Now, rallies in the equities markets failed to trigger a similar performance in Bitcoin and the alts. However, a minor positive is that several major cryptos have stopped falling and are trying to start a recovery. Could the bulls maintain the momentum and surmount the respective overhead resistance levels? Well, let's break it down, starting with this Bitcoin price analysis. Bitcoin has been trading close to the 20-day exponential moving average at 27,233, which you can see in this chart for the past 3 days. This suggests that the bulls are buying the dip near 26,000 500. Now the 20-day EMA has flattened out, and the relative strength index, which is the RSI, is just below that midpoint, indicating a balance between supply and demand. This balance will tilt in favor of the buyers if they drive the price above the resistance line of the descending channel pattern. They may start a northward march towards 31,000. Send it. Let's freaking go. I think once we can reclaim that yearly high of 31,000, we can head on up to 40,000. I personally can't wait. If the price turns out down from the resistance line, it will suggest that Bitcoin may spend some more time inside the channel. The critical level to watch on the downside is 25,250, and a break close below this support may intensify selling and a tug price towards 20,000. Now this 4-hour chart also shows that the bears are guarding the immediate resistance of 27,350. So on the downside, Bitcoin has been forming higher lows in the near term, indicating demand at the lower levels. This enhances the prospects of a rally above the overhead resistance, and if that happens, Bitcoin may soar to the resistance line of the descending channel. And if the bears want to gain the upper hand, they'll have to quickly sink the price below the nearest support of 26.5. The next stop on the downside could be 26.3 and then $25,800. And now for a throwback, may he rest in peace, the late great Hal Finney, on Bitcoin at just $11 exactly 12 years ago today, obviously ahead of his time. Quoting him here, every day that goes by and Bitcoin hasn't collapsed increases the chance of eventual success and justifies a higher price. You damn skippy. And lo and behold, Bitcoin is up roughly 20 million% in the past decade. So long live the spirit of Hal Finney. He'll always be amongst us, along with Satoshi. You know what I mean? I truly feel that Bitcoin is God hacking humanity. Let me know if you feel the same. Now let's break down our next breaking story of the day and discuss U.S. Congressman moving to stop CBDC dead in its track with this new bill. That's right. A congressman in West Virginia's 2nd District is introducing a new bill that would keep the Fed from carrying out experiments related to the use of CBDCs. In a new press release, Congressman Alex Mooney introduces the Digital Dollar Pilot Prevention Act, which aims to close a loophole that would allow the Fed from running a pilot program designed to test the feasibility of issuing a CBDC. Quoting him here, this bill would prohibit the Fed from establishing, carrying out, or approving a program intended to test the practicability of issuing a CBDC, which we all know is a central bank digital currency. And according to the press release, more than a dozen House Republicans have agreed to serve as original co-sponsors of the bill. That's right, says Mooney, quoting him here, Congress cannot give an inch when it comes to CBDCs. CBDCs would threaten the liberties of law-abiding Americans and are being used by authoritarian countries right now to crack down on dissent. He is right, he continues. That's why closing this pilot program loophole is so important to prevent the Fed from bypassing the will of Congress. I am proud to introduce this legislation to do exactly that. Now, the press release also says that the House Republicans have been clear in their stance that the Fed has no legal authority to issue a CBDC without the approval of Congress. And according to the document, CBDCs raise major privacy and government surveillance concerns. Quoting him again, right now, China is circulating its CBDC as part of a pilot program which will be used to monitor the transactions of its people and restrict banking access to government dissenters. Legislation is needed to ensure that the Fed cannot make an end run around Congress and issue a CBDC as a part of any pilot program while stopping its current development dead in the tracks. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding this move by U.S. Congressman? I think it is great, and I think we need more congressmen like this to call out, the bad actors and the fact that trying to implement a CBDC, which would be the death and destruction of humanity as we know it. Just pointing out the obvious. Now for our next breaking story of the day, and it's within the U.S. banking system. Let's break this down. BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes says that the U.S. banks are about to take another hit. That's right. This time from businesses looking to outperform low interest rates. Written in a new essay, Hayes says that the recent exodus out of the U.S. banking system will likely to get worse. So do keep that in mind. Only keep in the bank what you're affording and willing to lose. And according to statistics compiled by the Fed's economic data system, depositors yanked out $30 billion out of the American bank accounts from May 10th just to the May 17th. So in 1 week, people exited out $30 billion out of the banks. Insane. And again, this is just starting. The number represents an increase of more than $4 billion over the previous week. The U.S. banking system now has a total of $17 trillion in deposits compared to $18 trillion just a year ago. Now, do you think they actually have that fiat to pay out if there was a bank run? Absolutely not. Hayes says that with the high rates now available in the money market funds that invest in U.S. Treasury, banks will likely see another wave of withdrawals from investors and businesses looking for better returns. That's right, quoting him here. Over $1 trillion has been removed from the U.S. banking system since last year. The big question going forward is, will this exodus continue? Will businesses and individuals continue to move money from 0% yielding bank accounts into money market funds yielding 5 or 6%? Logic tells us the answer is an obvious and resounding absolute. Why? Why would they not? If all it takes is a few minutes in their smartphones to 10x their interest income, the U.S. private sector will continue to pull money from the U.S. banking system until the banks offer competitive rates that match at least the Fed fund rates. Now, Hayes is also predicting that a bull market is now ahead for Bitcoin and that Bitcoin will not revisit $20,000 ever again. Quoting him here, I expect that Bitcoin will hold firm here. I do not believe we'll retest 20,000 or come anywhere close. As money slowly trickles into the global risk asset markets, a strong base of support will form. Volatility and trading volumes always disappoint during the northern hemispheric summer months, so I am not surprised that degens plagued by boredom have checked out crypto trading for the time being. I will use this time to slowly increase my allocation to Bitcoin after the U.S. Treasury's general account is replenished. And he leaves us with this. As more and more pundits start talking about what is happening to the billions of dollars printed by the Fed and U.S. Treasury and handed out as interest, it'll become common knowledge once more that the money printer is going brrr, and when the printer goes brrr, Bitcoin goes boom. You're damn right. We all know that Bitcoin is the perfect hedge against inflation. So if you think the government will continue to go with their money printer, you should be hedging with some BTC. It only makes sense. With that being shared, fam, now let's discuss the latest of the Binance CEO and what he has to share regarding stablecoins and his thoughts on DeSantis. As you know, DeSantis is a Republican running for president, and he also announced his strong stance against CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and the fact that he is pro Bitcoin. And we also have Kennedy Jr., who is a Democrat running for president as well in the United States in 2024. He is also pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDC, so things are really starting to heat up. So yeah, let's break this down, and welcome to everyone just tuning in. I appreciate all your support. Binance founder and chief executive CZ gave his thoughts on the crypto regulatory situation in the U.S. in an Ask Me Anything session on Twitter this past Wednesday. He was asked to comment in light of the 2024 U.S. presidential election and the statements of some of the candidates on crypto and regulations. CZ said that his outlook on the current regulatory environment in the U.S. is not positive from crypto's perspective. Quoting him here, I think there is a lack of clarity, and there are clear cases of regulation by enforcement of which we are a recipient of, in at least one case, so it is just not good, he stated. U.S. has pros and cons. U.S. is a democracy. It's got foundations, freedom of speech, so it's strong in many points. But the U.S. also has some disadvantages when it comes to crypto adoption. The entrepreneur elaborated. Now, CZ noted that the U.S. dollar is the global dominant currency, which is a very powerful tool for the U.S. He added that some people in the country believe that no one can do anything that would even hint at undermining that power, quoting him here. But then there is a different group of guys who are innovators who say the best way to enhance the dominance of that, which the dollar, is to embrace crypto. The founder of the world's largest crypto exchange pointed out. He also says if we increase the U.S. dollar-based stablecoins, that further strengthens the U.S. dollar being used in more places. If we limit that, it reduces the use case for the U.S. dollars globally, and at least in the crypto communities. Now, CZ admitted he is too busy to regularly follow U.S. politics, but praised Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for his stance on crypto assets. Quoting him here, he is very pro-crypto, so I think he is great. He also listed other U.S. officials in the category, such as fantastic Miami Mayor Francis Suarez and Commissioner of the SEC, Crypto Mom, the one and only Hester Pierce. Shout out to all of them. And while currently the U.S. doesn't look positive to crypto with its chaotic environment, the collapse of 3 crypto-friendly banks and lawsuits involving a number of leading crypto companies, the CEO of Binance is convinced that the U.S. has the potential to become a leader again when the regulatory landscape becomes more favorable. Well, I think once No Clarity Gary leaves the SEC, maybe we can have some clear regulations. What are your thoughts? CZ's comments on the regulatory challenges for the crypto industry and the world's leading economy come after he recently addressed the problems with banking and that his and other companies in the sector are currently facing around the world. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with CZ, and what are your thoughts on DeSantis running for president, being pro BTC and anti CBDC? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now let's discuss the latest with this Brazilian exchange, and then we'll dive into Jack Mallers, the Strike CEO's $1 million Bitcoin price prediction before wrapping up with some live Q&A. And if you're just joining us, make sure to smash that like button if you're enjoying today's show. Crypto exchange Mercado Bitcoin was granted a payment provider license from Brazil's central bank on June 2nd. According to local media reports, with the license, the company will launch its fintech solution, which is MBPay. That's right. The approval of the central bank is a crucial step as it allows us to continue expanding our business, providing a better service to our customers, said Roberto Dagnomi, the CEO of 2TM, the parent company of Mercado Bitcoin. And as a payment institution, MBPay can provide Brazilian users with specific digital banking services using crypto assets held on the exchange, such as digital fixed income investments, staking, and other financial transactions. A debit card offering a crypto off-ramp for users is expected to go live soon. Let's go. How many of you are in Brazil? Holla at your boy. And previously, traditional local broker Guide Investimentos also announced a partnership with Mercado Bitcoin to enter the digital asset market. It's kind of like Bruce Lee entering the dragon. Let's go. Mercado's Bitcoin fintech rollout has been planned for 2021, but was delayed due to the regulator's approval process. The development came the same day as Mercado Bitcoin was ordered to return over 2,182 Bitcoin, worth almost $60 million at the time of this writing, back to a group of investors alleging that the co-founder and former executive withheld funds in a fabricated hack all the way back in 2013. That's right. Now a vibrant demand for digital solutions and a population of almost 214 million have drawn crypto firms to the Latin American country. Let's go Brazil. Now Binance previously ranked Brazil among its top global markets. Its local partner, LatAm Gateway, was also granted a payment provider license in the country recently, May 19th. Other crypto exchanges licensed as payment providers in Brazil include Crypto.com and Bitso. Coinbase is also expanding operations in the country. Since March, the American exchange has partnered with local payment providers to offer crypto purchases and enable deposits and withdrawals in the local currency. So there you have it. Bitcoin game theory in full effect as mass adoption continues around the world. I love Brazil, I love Latin America, and I love the fact there's over 213 million potential users that could be taking advantage of the King Crypto. So let's get it. Now let's break down our final story of the day, and that's Jack Mallers' recent $1 million Bitcoin price prediction. Let's break it down, shall we? And how many of you watched his recent speech from the Bitcoin Miami conference? Let me know in the comments right down below. So here we go. Let's start right here. With the United States Federal Reserve printing massive amounts of dollars to save collapsing banking industry, Bitcoin prices are expected to soar higher in the coming years. And moreover, more countries are expected to adopt Bitcoin as a deflationary asset, if not legal tender. And how many of you remember Balaji, who is the former Coinbase CTO, Chief Technology Officer? He made a very bold bet that Bitcoin would hit $1 million within 90 days, and that if he'd lose, he'd pay $1 million. Lo and behold, we didn't hit anywhere near $1 million, obviously, as Bitcoin has been trading sideways, currently at 27,000, and he actually paid out that bet as he said he would. He also pointed out in this tweet, just as in 2008, the bankers lied. This time, the central bankers, the banks, and the bank regulators have lied to all dollar holders and depositors. This isn't your typical fractional reserve situation. The problem is that there isn't enough in reserves. I agree with that 100%. Now let's dive into what Jack Mallers has to share. Speaking on CNBC's Power Lunch with Kelly Evans, the Strike CEO Jack Mallers discussed the role of Bitcoin in the ongoing banking crisis. Mallers is 100% convinced Bitcoin price will hit $1 million per BTC, fueled by global hyperinflation. According to Mallers, the Fed has tarnished its name by printing more money to save the banking industry, despite claims to reduce inflation to 2%. And as such, Mallers expects the FOMC statement on the interest rate to push the Bitcoin prices to continue higher on demand. And he also reiterated the fact that there would only be 21 million Bitcoin units despite the increase in demand. Quoting Jack Mallers from Crypto Twitter, and I love this tweet, probably one of my favorite. There are only two things I can guarantee in this world. Number one, nobody can live forever. And number two, nobody can create more than 21 million Bitcoin. For everything else, there will always be more supply given enough demand. That is why the only two things I truly value are my life and my Bitcoin. Very bold words coming from the Strike CEO. And notably, Mallers also bashed the altcoin industry for being centralized, with founders holding massive coins at the expense of the secondary market. And as such, Mallers thinks altcoins are suitable for speculation and should ultimately be used to accumulate more Bitcoins. Quoting him here, my overall opinion is that the name of the game is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. Alts are interesting, but a lot more speculative. I use them to accumulate more Bitcoin, Mahler said. So there you have it. Also like to point out, more recently at that Bitcoin Miami 2023 conference, major news was announced, and that Strike expanding to 65 countries globally. So that's right. So the Strike app, which is a second layer app that uses the Lightning Network to send and receive transactions in BTC, etc., you can now use that not only in the United States, not only in El Salvador, but in over 65 countries around the world to help usher in that massive adoption. This does stuff like put the remittance businesses out of business, like the MoneyGram, the Western Union, etc. Because if you had the opportunity to send money back to your family and you can do it instantaneously and for free using the Bitcoin network, wouldn't you choose that versus paying 10 or 20% with third parties that threw us overboard a very long time ago? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And now let's dive into some live Q&A. Welcome to each and every one of you in the live chat. What's good, Steve Kingston, Nathan Roth, Coin Father, DS Flat. Good to see the fam. Corey Reynolds in the building. What's good, homie? Good to see you. Megadon, what's poppin'? Sailing with Twins, welcome. Also, we know whose birthday it was just yesterday, so hopefully you enjoyed your birthday. I know you got a lot of birthday love in the chat, so shout out to Digital Dankness, Axel Hoddle, Michael Volkman, Satwise Jenks. What is good? Yes, this is pod episode number 1302. You got that right, and we're just getting started. Satwise, good to see you, my fam. We'll be mushroomed today on 117-acre mountaintop resort in about an hour. Beautiful 74-degree day. Are you referring to psilocybin mushrooms? Let me know. I'm a fan. Good stuff. Hi, William. Funny, I was thinking the same thing today. Then I realized everything will be priced in Satoshis and bits once the US dollar hyperinflates. And I think we're witnessing hyperinflation of the US dollar in real time. Yeah, the Fed can say we have this thing under control, but we all know once the genie is out of the bottle, you cannot put that mofo back in. It is what it is. Matthew J., welcome, fam. Always a pleasure. Shout out to London. Said London Blockchain Conference was very good last week. Good to hear that. DS Flat doing your thing. That's what's up. I know there's a lot of get-togethers going on out there. Good stuff. My lady and I can't wait to begin traveling to Bitcoin destinations like the London show and meeting fam from this group, says Satwise Jenks. That's what's up. Many meetups in the works. Also like to point out, as y'all should know, unless you're new to the channel, I am planning on throwing a extravagant $100,000 Bitcoin party here in Puerto Rico once the price action finally eclipses that six-figure mark. I'm anticipating that to happen sometime in 2024, keeping in mind that the Bitcoin halving is roughly 10 months away. So the countdown continues. How many of you are going to be attending this $100,000 party? Let me know so I know who to expect. Bring on anything but sideways. It's boring, says Steve. I totally feel you, fam. We had a very boring month for the past month. Hopefully June we see some positive price action return. I'd love to conquer that current yearly high of roughly 31,000. I think once we could eclipse that, we can head on up to 40,000 plus. And you already know, fam, I'm bullish as a mofo heading into the halving next year. The time slot is cool for Sunday. Just made it home from church. So happy to hear that, Volkman. It worked out. I actually slept in. I intend to wake up at 7 a.m., but I think I woke up at 11 a.m. this morning. I'm like, holy moly. The show isn't going on till 2 p.m. today, but it works out the way it was meant to work out. So it is what it is. That's the importance of making sure you're not only subscribed to the channel, but you got notifications turned on so you don't miss out, because I don't always go live at the same time every day. Yeah, I go live every day. Sometimes it's at 12, sometimes it's at 11, sometimes it's at 1, sometimes it's at 2. I have a life, I have a schedule. I try to do my best to stick to it, but hey, it is what it is. Steve Kingston, agree on the sideways, but historically in a bull run, we go up afterwards. Sideways in a bear market, not so much. JV, thanks for all your support. Wow, over 1,300 episodes of podcasts. That's right, and I'm just getting started. Looking forward to the next 1,300 episodes. Where do you think the price action will be at that time in another 3 years? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, good. The Coin Father is here. Let's go. That's right. Legends in the building. Johnny Midas, what's poppin', fam? Good to see you. Greetings from Palm Desert, California, everyone. To live and die in LA. Yo, shout out to Pac. Rest in peace. Boom. Corey Reynolds, good to see you, fam. Always a pleasure seeing you pop in here. And yes, on the screen right now, you're looking at a Lightning QR code where anyone can zap me sats without any third parties whatsoever. So if you want to send me a tip directly in Satoshis, feel free to do so. Statwise has been blessing me once he initially introduced this concept and idea, and I implemented it into the channel. So that's why you see a QR code on the screen. Also, for those of you unable to use your phone to scan a QR code for whatever reason, I also put the Lightning address in the description below the video. So if you click show more, you can see what that Lightning address is. If anyone wants to contribute, feel free to do so. All contributions will be used to help scaling the show, creating more content and more value so that you guys can get the best crypto news on a daily basis, as I continue to do here. Always bullish for the long-term, JV. You already know, fam. Much love and respect to Bitcoin Maximus. What's good, Kingston? Good to see you in the building. And speaking of Kingston, shout out to all the peeps in Jamrock, Jamaica. What's good? Johnny Midas, pleasure seeing you, fam. What's new? Corey Reynolds, what's new with you as well? Exactly, dollar cost average. You can never go wrong. You got that right. Keep taking advantage of those dips. I love MA Bitcoin fam. Thank you. All what a community. Thank you, says Grant Dunn. Greatly appreciate those kind words, Grant Dunn. Much love and much respect, and I appreciate all the continued support. How awesome to be here live. Nice surprise. Ludi LaPlane, appreciate you tuning in, fam. I forget what part of the world you're in. Are you in, is it Africa or South America? Let me know. If 100,000 happens during my projections between April and June of 2024, I won't be able to make Puerto Rico, but would definitely come visit JV at a later date. Well, we're going to have multiple parties then, aren't we? We're going to do a $100,000 party. Why not? We'll also do a $250,000 party, another major milestone, $250,000 Bitcoin price. And of course, we hit a $500,000, we throw in another party. What if we hit all those 3 targets in 1 year in 2024 and there's 3 parties in Puerto Rico? Wouldn't that be something? I don't think that is likely. I think 2025 is most likely when we hit the peak high of the cycle, but I'm just saying, what if? Wouldn't it be interesting to say the least? And what are your thoughts surrounding CoinFather's projections there, guys? Let me know. Also, it looking missed or skipped payments on car loans are increasing. Doesn't surprise me. Prices are getting out of hand. Creditors, people's credit suck overall. The economy is not looking good right now. The interest rates are higher than ever. I think they even had to expand the term of car loans from 5 years to like 7 or 9 years because people couldn't afford them anymore. So I appreciate you sharing that statistic. Steve says going to check out renting a motorcycle in Puerto Rico for the $100,000 party. No rental car will do. Yeah, why not? Rent a bike. Do it up. Let's go. Whatever it takes, work around that. I am flexible. That's what's up, Satwise. Most Def, driving to beach, 12-year anniversary. Just talking in Aloha. Well, that's what's up, Megadon, or in Alpha. Was good. Megadon, congrats on the anniversary. Do enjoy yourself. In the next year, I can be the Crypto News Alerts financial advisor. Hilarious. I don't think anyone wants that liability because I will tell you as a financial advisor, no matter what you tell someone to do, even if 99% of the people become rich, you're going to get that 1% coming back to bite you in the butt and taking advantage of you in the legal system. That's why we can't stress enough. This is not financial advice. Only invest at the end of the day in what you believe in and what you can afford to lose, because investing is almost like gambling. There is a risk factor involved. Some people think there are no risks in investing. There's risk in everything, including Bitcoin. You may invest in a whole coin today at 27,000. Tomorrow we can crash to 20,000. Then you're like, oh no, it's the end of the world. Why did he tell me to invest into Bitcoin? It's this person's fault. So yeah, do your own research and never invest more than what you're willing to lose. And I think you'll be more safe that way. You know what I mean? Even though I am very bullish on Bitcoin, I'm also realistic and I understand anything can happen. You know what I mean? I've been in Bitcoin back when it was $1,500. I've been in Bitcoin when it was $20,000, when we hit the peak cycle high in 2017. I was here when we hit $69,000. I was here last year when we corrected back down to $15,700. And I'm here today at above $27,000 and I ain't going nowhere. I'm here for the long haul. I just share my input. I do know I can't be right all the time, but as long as I can help my friends and fam get those gains higher than the inflation and carry their wealth into retirement, that's what's up, Coinfather. Much love and much respect. Appreciate your help and assistance and knowledge and advice as always. So much love and much respect. It is what it is. If it isn't Bitcoin Satoshi Vision and not Bitcoin that hits 1 million, I'd be a billionaire. So are you saying you're heavily long invested in Satoshi Vision? I didn't catch that logic in there. Let me know. Higher than the inflation to carry their wealth into retirement. Great show, JV. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that, fam. Corey and I go way back, for those that don't know, so I appreciate him tuning in here. Banks are bust from liquidity to services. And also, Corey, he reached out to me, I don't know, was it like 6 months ago or so? And he said, what are your thoughts on USDC over USDT? If you were to keep your crypto in a stablecoin, which would it be? Because everyone in the mainstream was really pumping and pushing USDC and Circle and yada, 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 all this news. Everything was like FUD related regarding to Tether USDT. But I was straight up. I said, Max has faith and support in Tether USDT. They say this is the real one. It hasn't, it's not going to depeg from the dollar. They have the reserves and they're growing. And then if we look at Circle USDC, the CEO is anti-Bitcoin. He's made some comments that have been anti-Bitcoin. That tells me he is against Bitcoin. That tells me they're doing business with the World Economic Forum and they cannot be trusted. And lo and behold, what happened to USDC's market cap since then? It's been dwindling. I don't even think it's half of what USDT Tether is today. So all you need to know is this: the Tether CEO and people behind it are pro-Bitcoin. The people behind Circle's USDC are anti-Bitcoin. That's all you need to know. All you need to know are who are the good people and who are the bad people. Who are the evil people looking to destroy crypto and who are the good people looking to uplift Bitcoin and protect it and our rights as sovereigns, of this world to, hedge against inflation, as is our God-given right, knowing the corruption within the banking sector. And I stand by that. And I think Tether USDT is the number one stablecoin. It will continue to be so. And I don't think USDC stands a chance at overtaking them because we know they're corrupt mofos looking to tarnish the industry for their own financial gain. And it is what it is. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking with it. Love Jack. That's what's up. Referring to Jack Mallers, the Strike CEO. What a great young entrepreneur. Definitely one of my favorite Bitcoiners in the space. I had the pleasure of watching him speak at the Bitcoin Miami conference last year in 2022. It was definitely the highlight of that event for me. So I appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support. Banks are bust from liquidity to services. You're damn right, as they should be. Banks are so outdated. How many of you dread? You ever have to go to a bank and send a bank wire? And it's like, why am I even doing this? You know what I mean? Bank wires here in Puerto Rico take roughly 2 to 3 hours just to be in the bank to send it. They'll try to convince you why it's a bad reason to send it, that wires get lost all the time, and they'll try to talk you out of it. You know what I mean? And this is the best technology for sending and receiving money from bank to... Are you kidding me? You can't do it over the weekend. You can't do it when a bank is closed. It doesn't appear the same day. If I send a bank wire from here in Puerto Rico to my mother, Puerto Rico being the same banking system as the rest of the United States, she won't receive the money the same day. She receives it the following day if it doesn't get lost. You know what I mean? So this technology is so outdated. It needs to be replaced. I cannot stand the legacy financial system. I cannot stand the banking cartels. I can't stand what they represent. I can't stand the technology and how dated it is. Many reasons why I'm pro-Bitcoin. And from a use stand perspective, yeah, banks, done with banks. Why give your money to the bank if you're receiving zero in interest? Why give your money to the bank knowing your money is hyperinflating to the dollar and losing purchasing power? That's why Michael Saylor described keeping money in the bank is like a melting ice cube. It's losing 20 to 30% of its value just in purchasing power every year. So you're really losing. You're going negative 20% interest every year keeping your money in the bank. You're better off keeping it under the mattress. It's probably safer for all I know. You know what I mean? Not financial advice, but just saying, protect yourself. Or as the Wu-Tang Clan once said, protect your neck, kid. How do you protect it? BTC, you already know. I'm a fan, says Axel Hoddle. Much love, much respect. Dude JV, over 1,300 episodes. Wow, what an accomplishment. Dedication, my brother. Damn right. Dedication to the most pristine collateral to ever exist, the best money to ever exist in humankind, the first money to hedge against hyperinflation, the first money with a finite limited supply of 21 million. You can't get any better than that. Mullers is a great disciple for BTC, 100%. Jester Chester, I agree with you. RFK Jr. could get the U.S. vote, and he is pro-Bitcoin. That's right. So Democrat running for president in 2024, we have Kennedy Jr. We also have Marianne Williamson, just FYI, but she's independent. I actually respect independent party more than Republican or Democrat because my personal perspective, if you're running as a Democrat or Republican, that means you're bought and paid for by some big parties. It could be the Bushes. It could be the Clintons. It could be the Soros. It could be the Obamas. It could be so many evil people of power with wealth who are truly controlling you because whoever's funding you has control over you. Do you understand that? So if you're running independent, that means there is no control factor over you unless it's, you know, some random entity we're not aware of. But we all know Republican and Democrat, yeah, most likely to win. It's the two biggest parties, but they are corrupted. We have to keep that in mind. Regardless, what a candidate tells you doesn't mean that's what he is going to implement. My personal humble opinion, they understand. They want to get the Bitcoiners vote because it matters. This is a major issue for the 2024 presidential election. And unfortunately, many of them will just tell you what you want to hear to win your vote and then soon realize they have no power as a president because as a president of the United States, you're really just a puppet for the powers that be that control you. And many of you don't understand this, but you know, I got to point this out. It is what it is. Let me know if you guys relate or if you think I'm crazy. Let me know. New federal state of China, the 4th anniversary today. Are you for real? Federal state of China. Never heard of that one, but thank you for sharing, Steve. I want to attend Prague Bitcoin in 2025 or 2026. We'll do it up. I enjoy boring to stack sats. I don't mind as well. You know what I mean? I'm in it for the long haul. Remember to smash the like, everyone. I appreciate that. What's with the hearts? Much love. Appreciate all the hearts. Big week ahead. You're right. It is a big week. 113 people in the chat today. Let's freaking go. Bring it. Prague is an amazing city. Haven't been there since 2018. Hail JV. Thank you, Maximus. Appreciate that. Much love. 100% would be USDT over other stables. Glad you agree with me, Coin Father. 100% we can throw a Bitcoin festival at the grounds I am shrooming at now in, is that Pennsylvania? Endless Mountains. Let's go. USDT is the leader to be adopted worldwide as the go-to stablecoin. That's why it is the go-to stablecoin. Bitcoin never closes, open 24/7. Facts, the truth about USDT. It has survived 187 flavor of FUD and keeps holding up. Facts. Just like Bitcoin, according to the legacy media, it has died 10,000 times. The same with Tether, but guess what? They're still here. They're still strong. Also, if you didn't know, not only is Bitcoin a legal tender in El Salvador, but also Tether USDT is a legal tender. That's right. It's the preferred stablecoin of choice. My cold storage bank is open 24 hours. Facts. Ice Cube, a keep on melting. You got that right, Satwise. Heck yes, Satwise, I'm down. Tom says, hey, what happened to the Bitcoin volume these days? Yeah, it's very low. The total crypto volume is only 20 billion today. Extreme lows. I remember it would be 100 billion plus every day. You know what I mean? So the volume is low because there's not a lot of action going on, just a lot of sideways, boring action. It is what it is. Tom says Bitcoin is slow and expensive to become mass adopted. How can we diversify? That's not true. Maybe the base layer wasn't designed for mass scale, but that's why we have Lightning. That's why we have Strike. That's why we have Open Node. There are a lot of layer 2 solutions that allow that to happen. How do you think Strike rolled out adoption in 65 countries? They're using the Lightning Network, which is the layer 2, and in Ethereum, layer 2 being Polygon / Matic, which allows faster transactions, cheaper transactions, and is a solution to the congestion of the network. So hopefully that makes sense to you. RFK Jr., anti-vaxxer, pro-Bitcoin. Well, you got to keep in mind, I'm just pointing out the facts because I've been, warning people against the dangers of vaccines for the past 15 years. Even before I was ever into crypto, I was well aware of the agenda of vaccinating populations for population control. Believe it or not, Kennedy Jr. was pro-vaccine until more recently. So there's videos of him encouraging everyone to get vaccinated. Get your vaccine. It's so important to get your vaccine. Then more recently, he came out being anti-vaccine. I think he obviously is controlled like all the other Kennedys were controlled. He knows what to say to try to get your vote. But at the end of the day, he's pro-vaccine, pushing vaccines. So don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted, folks. But yes, anyone pro-Bitcoin and anti-vaccine has my vote. Just note, some people watch their actions and their past history and not just what they're preaching, because there's a lot of deceptions out there. Keep that in mind. Lots of deceptions, fam. You know what I mean? I think you can catch Prague Bitcoin 2023 this week live on YouTube. That's the cool thing about the Bitcoin get-togethers and the conferences. Typically, they go live on YouTube, and so you can watch it and not miss out. So make sure to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Peace, fam, stacking sats, and spread the good word of the Bitcoin sound money. You already know, fam. And with that being shared, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We broke down the latest technical analysis as the Bitcoin price chart flashes a bullish sign, which can lead to breakouts in the crypto altcoin market. We also discuss U.S. Congressman moves to stop CBDC dead in its track and introduces a bill to block the Federal Reserve. We also discuss U.S. banking system will lose massive chunks of wealth from American businesses seeking yield, according to the XBitMEX CEO, Arthur Hayes. We also broke down that dollar-based stablecoins to strengthen the greenback, says CZ. He also thinks that DeSantis is great as a presidential candidate who is pro-Bitcoin, anti-CBDC, and also anti-vaccines. We also discussed Brazilian crypto exchange Mercado Bitcoin licensed as a payment provider. I broke down this latest report, and we also discuss the great Jack Mallers and the top reasons why he believes the Bitcoin price will hit $1 million per coin. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Monday.